we see the world around us in 3 dimensions. But ordinary photography shows us only 2. Now you don't have to settle for 2-dimensional pictures of a 3-dimensional world. Introducing a new dimension in photography. The Nishika N8000 3D camera. Because the world isn't flat.
So if you're an upcoming rapper or an avid Pinterest user, you're gonna know exactly what it is that this camera does. Allow me to present to you the Nishika N8000, a vintage 3D camera from the 90s, and probably the camera that took that cool 3D photo on your favorite artist's Instagram page. When I first saw these 3D photos, I was blown away. Like, how is it possible that you have motion, but you can see that it's just one moment, but what? At first I thought it was some kind of effect, but then but how could it be? It just really made me feel like time was standing still as like flames and floating objects stayed perfectly in place as the camera moved, so I knew it wasn't an effect. The only thing that I could think of was this 3D photo shoot that I saw where there was like 100 cameras lined up that all took photos at the same time, like they were synchronized. But when I saw these 3D images, I knew it was different. I knew it was small, I knew it was compact, and I knew that one person could do it. And that's when I discovered this amazing 3D style film cameras that takes not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 photos at the exact same time on a roll of 35mm film. Each lens is about an inch apart, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at the photos, clearly it's fine. What's crazy about these cameras to me is that they were designed to be toys in the 90s. That's why it's made of cheap plastic, and it's much lighter and flimsier than cameras like the Canon AE1, which are made of more dense metals. I have a feeling that the cheap plastic allowed them to mass produce these cameras, and that has something to do with the reason that you can still buy these brand new on eBay right now, which is exactly what I did. But I didn't just buy the camera, I got the whole set. I got the whole motherfucking lot. I got the whole gang in this. The set came with the camera, carrying case, twin light, and this spooky as hell VHS titled Step into the Third Dimension.
Hello, I'm Vincent Price.
And just so you know, that full VHS is uploaded to YouTube. I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you're interested in watching the whole thing. Now, if you're not already familiar with film photography, I'm a big advocate of shooting old school because not only is this an organic, non-competitive form of photography, but it's a form that's really rewarding given the extra time and money that it takes to develop these images. If you already shoot film, you need to put this on your grocery list. I promise you will not regret it. So a typical roll of film will shoot 36 exposures, but this camera takes 4 photos amongst 2 exposure frames, meaning you only get 18 exposures per roll with the Nishika. The camera does take 2 AA batteries, and the camera has a little lever on the top that you can pull that will trigger a light that will let you know your batteries are charged. The camera has a constant shutter of 1/60th of a second and only 3 different modes for aperture. The labels are similar to a Polaroid. You've got sunny, cloudy, and indoor, which correspond to f/19, f/11, and f/8 respectively. The top of the camera has basic framing guidelines for you to create the best 3D image. It recommends that you stand 6 feet from your subject, with the midground being 15 to 22 feet and the background being 25 to infinity. The flash also lists instructions as to which degree to angle the flash depending on the film speed and the distance between you and your subject. This thing is a tank. It also takes AA batteries, and let me see if I can get you to hear the sound when you start it up.
That is cool.
The flash is actually way more powerful than I anticipated. I've actually blown out a ton of images on my camera, so follow those directions. Now I can ramble on and on about how cool I think these cameras are, but let's take a look at what the images look like and how to turn them into 3D GIFs. Here's what the film scans look like. There are your 4 individual images that were taken simultaneously, and turning them into a GIF is a simple process of aligning the 4 images on top of each other around a focal point on your subject, then spacing each image out over your timeline in Photoshop, making sure that the image loops forever, and then cropping it appropriately. Here's a few of my favorite images that I've taken with this camera. So that's about it for the Nishika N8000, a film camera that has stood the test of time and likely will continue to do so. If you're interested in film photography, I've already made a video about home film development, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. And if you like listening to me ramble about things, I'd recommend that you subscribe to this channel. I talk about photography, videography, and all things creative. Thanks for watching again. Stay safe, stay creative. Peace.